Right, it's your Geordie Journals. 2 videos in a row. Really positive results at St James's Park. No complaints from us here at all. Right, lads, thoughts on that? Star men first, because this is probably the hardest question that I'll ever pose on this channel, is pick your star man from that. You could almost pick any one of 11, couldn't you?
Yeah, there's a lot of contenders.
The second game running as well.
I would say today was more of a. There was a couple of standouts I'm going to mention, but this is harsh because I thought everyone was very, very good. Lewis Hall was one, and I thought Team Liverment I'll put up there, and there's another one who was obvious, and I can't think.
Sean Longstaff.
Sean Longstaff.
The man.
Yeah, Sean Longstaff. But Lewis Hall's transformation's been quite incredible, really.
Yeah.
I think 12 months ago in this fixture, look, he didn't even make it off the bench against Arsenal, the 1-0 win last year. 12 months ago, he wasn't getting in the squad. There was question marks over his fitness. There was even question marks whether he'd actually signed for the club because he wasn't playing games, the performance-related criteria, etc. 12 months on, Newcastle look like they've got an absolute star in the hands. He looks better every single game, and I thought today was his best in black and white. Defensively, I think he always gives those attacking attributes, but defensively that was his best display in black and white, especially when he had to contend with someone like Bukayo Saka. But there's been question marks around his defensive ability. I still think he's still learning. Obviously, he's still only a young lad, but that was sign today of a lad that's come leaps and bounds, and I was delighted with him. So I'll leave Sean Longstaff unless you've got anything else to add on Lewis Hall.
On Lewis Hall, I think there's very few fullbacks in world football at the moment would give Bukayo Saka as little. I think he was outstanding. It's his defensive work that was called into question last season. He looked like he was really struggling with the basics, actually, at times last season. Not today. Every game I see him now, he's getting better and better, better and better. It's great to see, and it shows how much work's been put in with the coaches, by himself and the manager and others, to get him up to speed and get him just. The basic errors that were happening before just aren't happening now. The way he's closed the space to Saka, and he couldn't get beat on the inside, never got beat on the outside. Outstanding. He gives that lovely balance as well on the left hand side. You've got to think. I know it's all silly talk, but there's an international break coming up, and there's a dearth of English left backs, and I don't know many domestic left backs with the skill set of Lewis Hall at the moment. I think in the form that he's in, beautiful left foot, doing his defensive work really well, and I think he's an outstanding prospect and a player that could be Newcastle United's fullback for years to come, no matter how much success there is at St James's Park, because he's got such a high ceiling. Sean Longstaff, I can't agree more. I would argue if that was Lewis Hall's best performance, that probably wasn't far off Sean Longstaff's best ever performance in all the years he's been at Newcastle United. He was outstanding against some very, very good footballers. He's good friends with Declan Rice, and he totally outshone him today. And you would argue that there's levels between the two of them, but he was the best midfielder on the park, I thought, today, bar none. And we're talking about £100 million midfielders again for the second time in 3 days, where Sean Longstaff's the best of the lot. I find it really sad. He came past us in the press box earlier, and he cuts a really doesn't seem a happy lad. I think he feels the criticism more than many other people. It's just football. People have opinions. He knows he's performing. Most normal people here who watched him today know he's performing at the top of his level. And Eddie Howe knows that his team functions. His team functions with much more balance when Sean Longstaff plays. It doesn't always have to be the argument of should it be Sandro Tonali, should it be Sean Longstaff. I think you can get both players into a midfield that would function as well. But it just felt like a throwback to 2022-3.
Yeah.
With Willock on one side and Joe Linton with the trade-off, as you discussed earlier in the week. Then the dovetail. Yeah.
Eddie Howe was asked that. He mentioned that today.
Did he?
Actually,
and then
dovetail.
Longstaff on the other side. This team functioned really well on the right-hand side when Almiron, Trippier and Longstaff literally didn't even have to look, and they'd be able to pass the ball to each other because they were so well drilled down that right-hand side. Longstaff brings that balance. And he does a lot of things, I said it in the live, that people don't see. And it's not a criticism if anybody isn't here, because we'd all love to be here. But when you see him closing off passing lanes, and he's always in the right position out of the ball. It makes a huge difference, and I've never seen a fitter midfielder. You could see him running in the 89th minute, and it would look like he's just started the game. His levels never drop. You see certain players do drop. He's fit as they come. I thought Bruno Guimaraes put in a real captain's performance today. He always fancies it against them, and he was a real leader today. But like you say, you could go through the whole team. Gordon's defensive work was outstanding.
What a cross.
Oh, brilliant.
What a cross.
Isak's looking more and more like the player that we know he can be.
He's getting involved more, and now he's scoring the goals as well. Because before that, he was getting involved, but not scoring. And then before that, he just wasn't involved at all. And then now we're seeing the best of both worlds from him. He was probably the quietest of his last 3 games.
Second half in particular.
Today, but that header was, I think Alan Shearer said, throwback to the 90s. Really nice, proper winger, right-footed, right wing, cross in. Great header.
A lot of people in the comments, and somebody on Twitter came out and said it was the Keith Gillespie, Faustino Aspria.
No, it wasn't. It was the Kennedy Rondon against Bournemouth. Against Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, that's what it was.
I thought you were talking about him.
I mean, a little less memorable, Jordan. I'm not going to lie.
I remember it.
That was good.
Never mind Tino. It's about Rondon. Nice.
That historic goal under Rafa Benitez.
It was against Eddie Howe's Bournemouth.
When you said Kennedy, I thought you were talking
I thought
about
he was going to say something about me. I thought you were going to talk about
Kennedy.
I scored a goal at the Gallagher end once, you know.
It wasn't the Gallagher, it was the Sleezers and the Kennedy Rondon.
It was.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you've took off on a tangent there.
I'll bring it back, because Lewis Hall, I think it's so refreshing to see a player almost by the week get better.
Yeah,
and with, 20 years old, and expect that will continue to be an upward trajectory for him. And it's not silly, I think, this England tour.
You might know more than me, but the New England manager used to be at Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Did the pass cross?
It was Potter that gave him his debut.
Was it Potter?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, did the pass cross? He would have been around at the time, you would imagine.
Maybe know his name, but would he have worked with him? I'm not sure.
Potter gave him his debut, didn't he?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, his debut was against Newcastle.
Oh, right.
He started home and away against Newcastle, and then the bottom.
Yeah. But I just wondered if that pass would have crossed and he'd know of his work.
You'd think so, like.
Yeah.
With Lewis Hall, Eddie Howe's made this point on numerous occasions. Okay, that transfer was criticised by us, or question marks were definitely over the fee and things like that. But Eddie Howe explained that with Lewis Hall, it was they saw something in him at that time, and that was only a small window where they could have got him and done that deal. Whereas if they had went, right, we can buy him next summer, for example, that opportunity
probably wouldn't have got him.
May have passed them by, and it would have been more expensive, or he would have been a Chelsea regular potentially by then. You just never know. So that's one of them where it has to be like a perfect mix of opportunity and getting the player, even if you have to be patient. And I think Lewis Hall's biggest problem last season was the transfer fee attached to him. If Newcastle got him for a relatively modest transfer fee, I don't think we would have necessarily been asking the same questions for a player who had started 6 Premier League games.
It was a lot of money to shell out for a lad who hadn't played a lot of games.
Yeah, but now he looks like he's.
It looks like he looks like he's costing
League for a while.
Yeah, he does. I'm so impressed with him. Really, really impressed with him. But there's loads. I mean, we're talking about the Willock coming into the team, and I'm not sure anybody really would have definitely 100% picked him into the midfield today. But it was just that balance. Like I said, Longstaff, the balance on the right, Willock and Joe Linton, and then with the added bonus of also having not Dan Burn there, but a bloke who's going to go beyond them in Lewis Hall and give even more width to the team. I just think it all worked so well. On any other given day, we'd probably be talking about a performance from Joe Linton that was really beating at the chest, getting stuck in, physical, and he was outshone by about 4 or 5 others, even though he was outstanding. It was such a high level performance from Newcastle today. And yes, you'll maybe look and say, what about Arsenal? Did Arsenal perform at the levels that they can? Probably not. Were they missing somebody who unlocked doors, like Odegaard, someone like that? Probably. But that was... I was not impressed by what I saw from Arsenal.
It's one dimensional. It's the same stuff we were criticising Newcastle for a couple of weeks ago, where it just seemed like devoid of ideas, really. When things going against them, didn't really. The play for just the set pieces, really.
They were relying on Declan Rice putting it on a sixpence. That's what they were relying upon from a set piece. It was all very. I don't want to steal your thunder. Who was it who said it?
Joe
earlier?
Buck.
Joe Buck, was it?
Yes.
Oh well, Joe Buck. This is Joe Buck. This
Okay.
is special thanks to him. He said it was like watching Stoke.
Glorified Pulis Stoke.
He did, yeah. Stoke with a little bit more quality on the ball.
what it
You know
was.
what? I can't complain. I think he's not far off. If that's going to win, if he thinks that wins Arsenal a league, he's just mad. He's totally mad because it does not win Arsenal a league. It doesn't get them close, relying on set pieces.
I just think they're missing key players. Arsenal. That's half the battle with them.
Who's the key players they're missing?
Odegaard. They miss a left back today.
They don't have a proper
They've got no striker. How do you win a league with Havertz as your striker?
That's always been their problem.
Yeah.
Jesus, did he even get off the bench today?
Yeah, he came on. Did he come on? Maybe.
I brought on the young lad, didn't
But
I?
you talk,
but
you talk about, like, I mean, Manchester City are finding a way, but they're missing. Or have missed De Bruyne. Rodri is obviously the main one. Arsenal look like a shadow of the team. Maybe not a shadow of the team, but they're significantly weaker without Odegaard.
They don't look the
Because
same.
when they won here a couple of seasons ago, Odegaard was
Pull
the
the
man.
strings, but they don't look the same. I think Arsenal look at their best when they're playing on the edge, like when it comes from the manager. That sort of, we don't like it. That's fine, but they're at their best when they're aggressive or their team's on the edge. They're complaining, they're arguing, they're creating something.
I'd say that's
They
when
were
they're
so
the worst
far.
as well, though.
They were so far from that though. That's what I mean. That they've got to be. I think Arsenal at their peak are on the edge.
Yeah.
They've got to be on the edge.
I think Newcastle are probably similar to that though in his style.
Do you think?
I think Newcastle got to be on the edge. There's got to be to get the crowd in the game. There's got to be something.
Needs to be stakes. I think Newcastle,
yeah,
when
something-
they lead in games, are a different team. They can hold on to leads, and they've shown that.
They have, like.
Bruno's the perfect example where he wins free kicks, he breaks the play down, he makes it so difficult for the opposition. It's when they've went behind in games and they've lacked the ideas to open teams up, it's been the problem. But one thing we said after the Chelsea defeat, last questions Eddie Howe, and it was said it's down to him to find the answers. We were just saying off camera now, I think this past week he has found a answer, which has almost been an answer you already had. Playing Joe Linton on the left, changing the midfield. He's changed the midfield 3 games running now, and it's kept things fresh. It's rejuvenated Newcastle in the middle.
You make
of the
a
park.
really important point. So it's fair. We always on Joe Journals will say as we see, and the criticisms of how only going back, a week and a half, were fair. There was fair criticisms
6 days.
of 6 days. Yeah. However, he's went and done certain things that it was experimental on Wednesday, and he found certain things that might work. Willock's maybe he's got that little bit fit, and he's thought, you know what, I'm going to go again against his former club, and it was inspired today. It really worked. Joe Linton on the wing. They were all players, like you say, they were all here. All the parts were there. It was just he's had to find them, and I can't fault what the manager's done. I think he's managed to get something out of this week that. Yes, we all look and go, well, Newcastle can always do this at home against the big teams. They can. And then the biggest challenge is always doing more.
Yeah.
What's going on in the background here?
Well, we said it after Chelsea. I think Jordan, you said it wouldn't surprise you as bad as, well, it wasn't awful at Chelsea, but it was a bad result. It wouldn't surprise you if Newcastle went and picked up 2 wins in the next 2 games, but as you know, it's building and maintaining some sort of level of consistency.
It also would have been
can't
very
be up
easy.
and down.
It would have been very easy to lose as well, though. It's not a given that they do this.
Fine
I
margins,
think you've got to praise Howe for making some very, very bold decisions.
Yes.
I think
That
he's
have
shown a
worked.
real, I'm trying to think of the word, steeliness maybe of selection this week, where he made changes in midweek, and there was a clamour today to see Kelly came in, he stuck with Byrne. There was an expectation that Tonali would start, he took him out. Couple of other dilemmas as well. I think that midfield now is, how do you pick that midfield? Because everyone in that midfield deserves to play.
It's a good thing to have.
Willock Longstaff deserves to play. Tonali still deserves to play, but found himself on the bench today. It's made some really tough goals, bold calls, but he's got them all right.
Yeah, he has.
Two results. That's potentially season changing, I would say. The Forest is the main one now, because I think one thing that maybe is overlooked with this Eddie Howe team is the away record. And okay, they beat Wolves early on the season, but I think it's the only away win if you want to count Forest in the cup that was on penalties. So we know they can play well here, and I praise the manager for making those changes to get those results. But it's on the road where you need to start showing a real a different side. You can do it here, but can you go on the road? And I think Forest next week is a really good.
It's a big test, that.
It is a big test because they're flying, but if they can get a result there, that actually that sort of the view on the season changes.
On Newcastle United, just the flat track bullies of the Premier League. Can they just take on anybody, all comers here, and give them a right good game, but can't do it? Is there too many players in the squad that are just homers? I want them to go and prove that wrong. I think there's a lot of people probably look at Newcastle and think that. This is a really tough place to come. That can't be like overlooked. Every team comes here and has a game. It's never easy, really, is it, for anybody? The rare occasion.
I think the last time Newcastle were turned over here.
Proper turned over.
Forest.
Been a while. Bad Forest line.
Was it
still a 3-1. They weren't really necessarily out of that game completely.
Last Christmas. This doesn't happen very often, is the point, isn't it? Even they got beat off Brighton here. I mean, you could have argued Newcastle probably should have got.
The battered Brighton.
Yeah, so it's one of those where look, they're a really good side here, but they need to start proving it away from home. But that doesn't put any dampener on this. I don't think it was a given that you go and beat Chelsea and you go and beat Arsenal at home, even though we do have this amazing home record. And the bit that really shines out for me that might get lost in all of this is they played, yes, second string Chelsea, whatever, and Arsenal virtually full strength Arsenal today. They're not conceded a goal. I think the understated thing about there's been a lot of negative themes to what we've seen so far this season, and Eddie Howe even admitted that in his press conference, that things have not been good this season. But the undercurrent has been a little bit more of a defensive solidity.
Yeah.
They're not conceding the goals that they were conceding last season. They're not scoring the goals as well. But it's good to see that they're becoming. They're always in game. If you don't concede goals, you're always going to be in games. You're never out of them, and that really matters. 2 clean sheets in 4 days. There was a lot of tired bodies out there, and it would have been easy to crumple in those last few minutes when Arsenal are pushing, and they didn't. They held firm and kept another clean sheet. It's good for the likes of the 2 centre halves, who we haven't even mentioned today, who had decent games. Nick Pope again. It's good for him. That's for those players. 2 clean sheets. It's excellent. I don't think they've conceded many goals. I don't know the record, but
it's 10 goals scored this season, 10 conceded in the Premier League.
Is it? 10's not many, is it really?
10.
It's not good.
In 10 games.
10 games.
10.
We don't want that, do we? No, we don't want 38 goals scored over a season, I'm afraid.
38 conceded would still be worse than when they finished 4th. That's how good that was that season.
Yeah. But the goals against columns was very, very good. I think, like I say, Forest's the big challenge. Go to Forest and get something, then you can start. I think you really start saying, maybe they're turning a corner here. Maybe the early season struggles are behind them. And I think it's all about confidence as well. I think you can see results like this do breed confidence, and you can see it flooding into the touch and the movement of Alexander Isak. You can see it with every ball that Anthony Gordon chases down. That idea that I think, was there a loss of belief? And it's only natural. If something doesn't work, you start questioning it yourself. Is it right? Is it right? And I think you could see that in the way that Newcastle were playing in the last few weeks. It just changes that dynamic. It's like, actually, now when I do chase this, it's working. It's all working forward. And that confidence is just breathing back into the players. And I think I'm all for it. I'm really, really positive about what we've seen. Because it's not just one game now. It's not just one game in midweek. That was the one that sort of got the cobwebs off. Then today was a proper result and a proper performance. The best performance I've seen in Newcastle for some time.
Today?
Yeah.
I think it's a throwback to. It's just that's Eddie Howe's Newcastle United, isn't it?
Yeah.
It felt more like it in patches, hasn't it?
Felt like 2 years ago.
That's Newcastle United's identity right there. Yeah. That performance, having that bit of quality, but also that spirit and determination to see out a result. And you mentioned there about the physical look of players. Some of them were shattered.
They were.
Anthony Gordon obviously came off. He looked dead on his feet.
Isak,
there was a point when
Isak,
90 minutes from him today.
Yeah.
Even like
3 starts in 6 days as well.
He'll be putting his feet up for the next few days. I think
it's some physical effort to get through that, and as I say, that's what you associate with this team. So the identity of Eddie Howe has built was displayed on that pitch today. I would say
they'll need to put in a different kind of performance in at Forest.
Yeah.
They'll not be going down there with the intensities, the identity of. Well, I can't even say it. How would I?
Intensity is our identity.
Idea. I don't think they can do that. I think they'll probably be a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
And they'll have to treat Forest with a lot of respect because they're up there. They're performing.
We're beating West Ham next time. I'll have to put that. I don't know the final result.
No. We don't know.
We'll look it up.
They're in a game.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting actually. I've just entered my head there. Two of Eddie Howe's biggest successes, or what has been almost a catalyst for success, has been moving Joe Linton into a different position. It's moving him into a midfield the first season, moving him left wing the second, and then now again moving him back to left wing. And what's the score, Joe?
Forest won 3-0 against West Ham.
10
West Ham, we're down 10 men.
The Chris Wood effect.
Sorry, you guys. We're actually just learning the full-time results on Saturday.
You can tell what time this is. It's like 5 o'clock when we're doing
Bournemouth
this.
beat Man City.
Did they?
Liverpool turned it on against Brighton.
No,
First
that
win of
means
the season for
Bournemouth go
Southampton.
above. That means Bournemouth go above Newcastle. It's still better than bottom half at least.
So
Back in
on
the top
Newcastle
half.
10th now?
9th, is it?
9th. They're still 9th. I was going to say 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10's a magic number.
It's close though. Close Premier League at the moment.
It's
As
just
it
nipped
should
up,
be after 10 games,
But,
really.
but I was saying this to some of the journalists when we were talking to them before, we were covering Arsenal. Arsenal aren't the team of before, but Man City aren't the team of before either.
No.
They're
I think it's a
slightly
lower
off.
quality
It
Premier
is,
League,
it is.
or the ceiling is lower.
It's a big opportunity for Liverpool when you look at it and say like, you've never any idea how good Arne Slot is because you can't judge the Eredivisie like the quality.
Yeah.
Very similar to Amorim coming in at from Sporting to Manchester United. It's like we have no idea if he can translate that kind of thing across the Premier League. It's nothing on the coach. It's just how that translates. You never know. And Slot's come in and done really, really well. Brought a new energy to Liverpool. They're probably not going to have a better opportunity in a long while at really getting in and getting involved. But we don't know if that's going to have any longevity at all. You just don't know. But Newcastle probably aren't going to be up in that mix. But if they keep putting in performances like this, particularly at this place, then they'll be closer to where they want to be than what it looked like a few weeks ago.
Do you think this Newcastle season is almost like evened out because they were poor at the start and got results, and then they started playing better but didn't get results?
Yeah.
It feels like where they are now is probably where they deserve to be.
I'd say it's nicer now. It feels a little bit more of a positive outlook, but I still don't think there's any long-term determination. You can't say with any definitities like Newcastle United will finish X, Y, and Z because they've been so up and down.
It's unpredictable.
You've seen two sides of how bad they can be and how good they can
So
be.
in a way, you're right that they've levelled out. Like we've seen hopefully the worst of it, but we've seen the very best.
And you always back them at home against good teams. It's the bread and butter. Forests away. Ipswich, we said Ipswich just before Christmas. That's got a real Luton town just before Christmas last year feel about it. It's those games that they need to be winning, and that's the difference between the team who finish 8 in and around where Newcastle currently are and the ones who really push top 4. Like Newcastle finished 4th, losing 4 games all season. It's like such fine margins. You can't afford to lose many games in this league.
No, and the reason why they did so well that year is because they went places and won. They went places and got results, whereas they drew a lot of games as well that year, didn't they? But they made sure they did what they usually do at home, but the way results improved. Last year, the away results dipped massively, and that's why they dropped down the table, basically, wasn't it? The away results were nowhere near as good as they should have been. Hopefully this season they can improve a little bit of that, because realistically, even performing like they were a few weeks ago, they're probably still going to beat most teams here. It's just the way it is. It's a tough place for people to come, and when the crowd's involved, that's a big thing. And it was today. It isn't always involved in a 12:30, but I do think it was energy. Like Wednesday had so much of an impact on everybody. It was energising. I think people were losing a little bit of faith, but it energised again, and it was like, remember. It was like muscle memory. It was like, we'll remember what we can be, and that was felt again today. And long may that continue too, because it's a force of nature when this place is rocking. It's just a shame you can't play cup finals here, as I've said before.
Couple nights under the lights coming up as well next month, and Liverpool coming up, West Ham coming up, evening kickoffs.
Liverpool won, we really do.
I think it's the best sort of situation. If you want to be playing Liverpool, you probably want St James's Park under the lights, gives you your best chance. I think Andy Carroll blasting it in.
That was a half 5 on a Saturday.
I like the half 5 Saturdays. The half 5 Saturdays
last time Liverpool played half 5 on a Saturday, the League Pope got sent off.
I don't like half 5 on a Saturday. Hey, man.
Oh well. But yeah,
big day.
feeling better.
Enjoyed it. We're all smiling. Hope everyone else out there is smiling too. Should we cut and run? Was there anything there?
You've got to go and have a curry.
I'm going to go and get a curry.
That's
good.
good.
Enjoy your night, have a curry.
I am.
Well, we'll be back.
Couple of fireworks as well, actually.
Couple of fireworks
I'm
as
gonna do
well.
fireworks. There's been some good news today. I'm gonna get some fireworks out.
Oh, good.
You've been
comment,
early,
share,
like.
subscribe.
I'm gonna wait till Tuesday.
No.
I hope the neighbour hasn't got a dog.
Yeah, apologies. Apologies if anybody does.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You know it's the end of the video when we start chatting.
We are dog lovers as well. We do love dogs. You do? You've got a dog?
I own a dog.
You're a cat lover. Yeah. You're a cat.
I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
I'm an all-rounder.
You're an animal. You are an animal.
A beast.
Okay.
Do the
Like,
bits.
comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journos content. Liam, take away whatever you
No,
want to
I
say.
need to say something. There was anybody who goes back in the lives that we've done. We did an amazing live. If you haven't checked out, please do, with Keith Patterson and CSL. And off camera, we got a donation.
Oh yeah.
So it was the most lucrative video we've ever done. That was just, this wasn't just the cherry on the top. This was like
The creme de la creme.
It was honestly like treble helpings. Somebody kindly donated, and they didn't want their name to be put out there. They kindly donated £100 to the Geordie Journals because of what we did on that live. And we are going to get Keith Patterson on again. Just tell her when you want, and we'll probably in the future at some
Big
point.
promises.
We'll definitely.
He's retired.
He's not retired. No,
Not for you.
No, I'll convince him. He'll be fine. £100. The only thing is, they didn't want to be named, which is fine. They just wanted to be referred to as SMB. So, so SMB, thank you very much for your. I don't know what that means, by the way.
No, neither do I.
No, no
No
idea.
idea. No
Are
idea.
you Googling it there, Dom?
No, I am Googling, see what it means. No.
You were just going to check if I got beat, weren't
See
you?
if there was any SMBs about it.
Hey, well. Right.
4 Rivers.
4 Rivers Financial Planning, proud sponsors of all long-form Geordie Journals content and the lives too. If you want to sponsor Geordie Journals, do get in touch. We are open and we can produce any kind of sponsorship deals, and you can have your name of your company or whatever you want on our screens every single video. There is a thanks button down there. If you want to donate to the Geordie Journals, then do it down here somewhere. And also like, comment, share, subscribe for all Geordie Journals content. We did a live before, check out any of that. And I'm pretty sure we'll probably find some time this week. Are we going to do a live this week ourselves if we can?
We'll try to.
We'll not promise it, but if you'd be interested in it, let me know. But we might actually get together and do a live.
Just the 3 of us.
Yeah. If you'd be interested in it, do let me know, and that might tip the balance. You don't look convinced.
I just don't like making promises I can't.
It's not a promise. It's just a.
It's a... What do you think?
Do you want the Geordie Journals?
If the demand's there,
Yeah.
We will deliver.
I'll do what the viewers want.
What is that, by the way?
It's a rocket. Firework.
Newcastle season taken off.
Newcastle season's had a rocket up its backside this week, hasn't it? And
Aye, that's
I'm
what
all
they
for
needed.
it.
That's what they needed, and they've done it.
Right. Sorry, that's probably added 4 minutes of waffle in the end, but you know what you get from us.
Aye, our videos are like, and then it's just waffle the last 5 minutes. It never...
Try to make positive comments for the first 25 minutes, then just descends into madness.
Well, we're just catching up.
We are, yeah. We're just. I don't think that we never come here with a plan, do we? It's always just right. Let's just talk.
Yesterday's video was the epitome of that.
Yeah, I think
It was
there's
like-
other YouTubers have proper plans, like, ooh, contrive this. This is going to be the headline before they actually start. We just sort of go, just talk. And I think you like that. I think you like that, John. But
It's the mates at the pub vibe after the game.
you going to the pub?
No, I was at last night.
Were you?
Ah, you saw me mum and dad, didn't you?
I know I did. I said you were rough, like.
Not that you saw us. She heard us on the phone.
Yeah, you must have sounded pretty rough. What about you?
Sorry, mum.
You going to celebrate that win with anything tonight?
Couple of beers front of the telly, I think.
Yeah.
Match
No.
of the day.
No fireworks?
I'll come to yours.
Get some fireworks. Come on. Yeah, all right.
We'll all come on for
Right.
yours for curry and
We'll have some
fireworks.
My dad might. This isn't an endorsement for fire safety, but he might be a bit drunk when he sets them off. But that seems to be the usual thing on there.
I might stay. Sure.
Hey, well, right. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know where to find us. You love all this kind of stuff, and as do we. and it's been a fantastic day for Eddie Howe, fantastic day for everybody associated with Newcastle United, and long may it continue. We'll see you next week.